Okay, lesson 14, classwork, and here's going to be our chance to practice. So adjectival included sentences are modifiers that follow noun phrase heads. Prepositional phrases and verb phrases with no time can also follow noun phrase heads and work as modifiers. These phrases can be analyzed down to the individual word level. So, for example, a book from school is a noun phrase. The head is book. That's our noun phrase. A is a determiner. And from school is a modifier. It's a prepositional phrase. Our steps for analyzing prepositional phrases are to rewrite them from school, mark the preposition, put parentheses around the object of the preposition, name it, noun phrase, and then rewrite the noun phrase, show the head, label it, and then indicate any modifiers and label them. So why don't you take a look at the next two, stop the video, and come back after you've analyzed them, and we'll check our work together. A book sitting on the table is a noun phrase. Book is the head. It's a noun phrase. A is a modifier, determiner. Sitting on the table is a modifier. Verb phrase, no time. It's the ing form. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Sitting on the table. And then we'll treat it like we treat all of our verb phrases when we analyze them. We'll look for the verb, the particle place, the object, the complement. We'll name any of the phrases that we find in the object and complement places. We'll rewrite them. And in this case, we have a prepositional phrase. Mark the preposition, parentheses around the preposition, object of the preposition, noun phrase. Rewrite the noun phrase, show the head, label it, show the modifiers, label them, and continue just like that until we get down to the individual word level. So let's take a look. A book printed on recycled paper, noun phrase, book is the head, that's our noun phrase. A is a determiner. Printed on recycled paper is a modifier. It's a verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite the verb phrase. Printed on recycled paper. Treat it like a Y verb phrase. Verb, particle, object place, empty. On recycled paper is a complement. It's a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrases we rewrite. On recycled paper. Indicate the preposition. The object of the preposition. Identify it. Noun phrase. Rewrite the noun phrase. You can see we're kind of recycling our phrases even. Recycled paper, indicate the head, label it, indicate the modifiers, verb phrase, no time. There. And we'll be able to do this with all the different parts of a sentence and all the different phrases we find. So let's start to take a look at some sentences, and we'll break them down and analyze them until we get down to the individual word level. So please stop the video. Let's do one at a time. Come back after you've analyzed the furniture in our classrooms fairly new. Let's take a look. The furniture in our classroom is fairly new. Is the furniture fairly new? The furniture is not. The furniture in our classroom is the subject, the predicate. There were no shifters. Let's take a look at our ties. Present. The M place is empty. It's in the middle. And Y is fairly new. Fairly new is an adjective phrase. Let's continue. We'll work with the Y first. So fairly new. New is the head. It's an adjective phrase. And fairly is an adverb phrase. How new is it? Fairly new. Okay, we're done. Oops, I forgot. The verb place, particle, object places, did that backwards, are empty. And fairly new, this is actually our complement. It's the adjective phrase. Sorry about that. But we can also take a look at the subject. The furniture in our classroom. That's a noun phrase. So let's indicate the head. We'll show all the modifiers. Prepositional phrase. We'll rewrite any modifiers that are more than one word in our classroom. In this case, since we have a prepositional phrase, let's label the preposition, parentheses around the object of the preposition, and name it. Noun phrase. Rewrite the noun phrase. Show the head. Show the modifiers. Determiner. Finished. Okay. We're doing good. Okay, stop the video, go on to the next one, and come back when you're done. Students sitting at the back of a classroom often remain quiet. Do students sitting at the back of a classroom often remain quiet? Students sitting at the back of a classroom do not often remain quiet. Students sitting at the back of a class is the subject. There was no shifter, I forgot to mention that. And let's just label the M and the Y. Okay, and now the ties. Remain ties with students sitting at the back of a class, and remain ties with the present. This is the no S form. So Y is a verb phrase with time. Let's rewrite the Y. Remain quiet, and remain is the verb. Now this type of verb doesn't really take an object. Particle, object, and quiet is the complement. That's an adjective phrase. Now, let's take a look at the subject next, because we're going to analyze everything. Students sitting at the back of a class. And let's see what we have here. It's a noun phrase. Excuse me. Students is the noun phrase head. And sitting at the back of a class is our modifier. It's a verb phrase, no time. It's ing form. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Sitting at the back of a class. And sitting is the verb. The particle place is empty. There is no object. At the back of a class is the complement. It's a prepositional phrase. Now let's take a look at this one, and I think you'll enjoy this one. Hope you also probably realized that when you checked it. At the back of a class is a prepositional phrase, so we're going to mark the preposition, show the object of the preposition, label it as a noun phrase, rewrite the noun phrase, the back of a class, and show the head, back, the modifiers, the, determiner, of a class, prepositional phrase again. This to me is so interesting. Look at this. Sitting at the back of a class, prepositional phrase. The object of the prepositional phrase is a noun phrase, the back of the class. And when I analyze the back of the class, I find another example of a prepositional phrase as a modifier. One prepositional phrase inside another one is an example of something called recursion. But we're not done. We need to rewrite this modifier of a class, and of is the preposition. A class is the object of the preposition. It's a noun phrase. And a class, once more, class is the head, and is a determiner. Please stop the video, analyze the next sentence down to each word, and when you're ready, come back. Without realizing it, teachers may overlook students who do not participate. Shifter, without realizing it. X word, may teachers overlook students? Teachers may overlook students. Teachers is the subject. Predicate, may ties with the present. May ties with overlook, base form. The M place is here between overlook and may, and overlook students who do not participate is why. This is a verb phrase, no time. So let's take a look at the why. Overlook students who do not participate. Okay, and we have our verb, no particle, and the object is students who do not participate. That's the object. It's a noun phrase. The particle place is empty. Let's rewrite our noun phrase. Students who do not participate and students is the head. That's our noun phrase. And the modifier who do not participate is an adjectival included sentence. So let's rewrite it. Who do not participate, and we'll cross off the includer. We'll take a look, are there any shifters? No. We'll find the X word places. We'll put a box around the subject place. We'll indicate the predicate, the M place, the Y, and show the ties. Present, base form, and Y is a verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite the Y. Participate. And we'll show the verb, particle, object, and complement places. Now, because we're looking at an adjectival included sentence, we need to decide where is the trace. So, do not participate, who do not participate. Where does students fit into this sentence? In the subject place. Students do not participate. So our trace is in the subject place, the includer is in the subject place. It means the includer is obligatory. We need it to hold the subject place for us. And are we done? Not exactly, because we have a shifter. So let's see what we have. Without realizing it. So, whoops, excuse me, without realizing it. Now, we have to decide what kind of a phrase are we looking at here. And the answer is, it's a prepositional phrase. Without is the preposition. The object of the preposition is a verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite the verb phrase. Realizing it, and treat it like every verb phrase. It has a verb place, a particle place, object, noun phrase, and a complement place, which is empty. And now we're done with that sentence, and we've checked, oh, and then we had, for example, we don't really need to maybe, but what the heck. Teachers, the subject is a noun phrase. And we've analyzed every part down to the individual words. So please stop the video, take a look at the next sentence, and come back when you're done. Class members chosen by the teacher sometimes feel uncomfortable. No shifters. Do class members chosen by the teacher sometimes feel uncomfortable? Class members chosen by the teacher do not sometimes feel uncomfortable. And class members chosen by the teacher is the subject. There were no shifters. Predicate, M place, and Y, and now the ties. Feel ties with the subject. Feel ties with the present. No S form. Y is a verb phrase with time. Let's rewrite the Y. Feel uncomfortable, and the verb is feel. The particle place is empty. There is no object. How do they feel? Uncomfortable. The complement is an adjective phrase. Let's take a look at our subject next. Class members chosen by the teacher, and it's a noun phrase, which means let's find the head, members, in the modifiers. Class members. Class is a noun phrase. Chosen by the teacher is a second modifier. It's a verb phrase, no time, DTN form. We'll rewrite our verb phrase, chosen by the teacher. Chosen is the verb, no particle, no object. By the teacher is the complement, prepositional phrase. Rewrite the prepositional phrase by the teacher. By is the preposition. The object of the preposition is the teacher. Object of the preposition is the teacher. That's a noun phrase, and we're almost done. The teacher, the head, and modifier determiner. I hope you're getting a feeling of satisfaction being able to do this. This is actually quite a job we're doing here. Taking a sentence and then just breaking it down until we get to the individual words. So stop the video, take a look at the next sentence, analyze it. Questions left unanswered in class are forgotten quite quickly. And when we come back, we'll analyze it together. Questions left unanswered in class are forgotten quite quickly. No shifters. Are questions left unanswered in class forgotten quite quickly? Yes, they are. Subject, predicate, are ties with the subject, are ties with the present, and are ties with the verb forgotten, the DTN form. And this is a passive sentence. The M place is here, it's empty, and forgotten quite quickly is why? It's a verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Forgotten quite quickly. That's coming from our Y. Forgotten is the verb. The particle place is empty. The object place is empty. And quite quickly is the complement. It's a adverb phrase. Now let's take a look at our subject. Questions left unanswered in class. Okay, this is a noun phrase. Questions is the head. And which questions? Questions left unanswered in class. That's our modifier. It's a verb phrase. No time. That's the DTN form. Left unanswered in class. And let's see here. Okay, where's our verb? Okay, verb left unanswered in class. This is a very interesting sentence here. Left. There is no particle. There is no object. The complement is unanswered in class. That actually is a verb phrase, no time. That's another DTN form. So let's take our complement. We'll rewrite it. Unanswered in class. And the verb is unanswered. There's no particle. There's no object. And in class is the complement. It's a prepositional phrase. We'll rewrite it. In class. We'll show the preposition, the object of the preposition, noun phrase, and since it's just an individual word already and we've labeled it, I don't think we need to go any further. I do see that we forgot something though. Quite quickly is an adjective phrase, but it's more than one word, so we should also analyze that. Quickly is the adverb phrase head, and quite is the modifier, also an adverb phrase. Okay, now we've analyzed every word. Okay, please stop the video, analyze the next sentence, and when you come back, we'll look at it together. On the other hand, a number of students who do not normally volunteer to participate appreciate questions directed to them. Shifter. The X word is do. Do a number of students who do not normally volunteer to participate appreciate questions directed to them? And a number of students who do not normally volunteer to participate do not appreciate. So our subject is here, and our predicate is here. Now let's take a look at the ties, or maybe we should show the end place while we still have room. Okay, appreciate ties with subject. Appreciate ties with the present. The Y is appreciate questions directed to them. I'm going to put that over here because we're running out of room. And the verb here is the no S form. So Y is a verb phrase with time. Now let's rewrite the Y. appreciate questions directed to them. Like that. And appreciate is the verb. There is no particle. The object is questions directed to them. And the complement place is empty. The object is a noun phrase. Let's rewrite that noun phrase and take a closer look at it. Questions directed to them. Questions is the head, and directed to them is a modifier. It's a verb phrase, no time, that's the DTN form. Directed to them. Directed is the verb, no particle, no object, and to them is the complement. It's a prepositional phrase. To them. To is the preposition. Them is the object of the preposition. It's a noun phrase. Okay. We've done this whole piece. This is the predicate. Why don't we take a look at, on the other hand, the shifter. On the other hand, on is the preposition. The other hand is the object of the preposition. It's a noun phrase. And let's rewrite the noun phrase. The other hand. And hand is the noun phrase head. Other is a noun phrase modifier. And the is the determiner. Okay, we're done with that. And now that leaves the subject. So let's rewrite the subject, give ourselves some room here. You can see that when we really do analyze these sentences, it takes quite a bit of room because there's so many steps involved and so many phrases within phrases. In breaking them down, we have a lot of steps to take. A number of students who do not normally volunteer to participate. That's our subject. Now, that subject is a noun phrase. The head is a number. That's our noun phrase head. A is a determiner. Modifier is of students who do not normally volunteer to participate. One big modifier. This modifier is a prepositional phrase. Let's rewrite it. Of students who do not normally volunteer to participate. And now the preposition is of. Students who do not normally volunteer to participate is the object of the preposition. It's a noun phrase. Well, let's rewrite it again. So I told you, I think in the first lessons we were having, that we're going to do a lot of writing in this class, and it's really true. who do not normally volunteer to participate. Students is the head. Who do not normally volunteer to participate is a modifier. And this modifier is an adjectival included sentence. Okay, well, let's continue. We take the adjectival included sentence, rewrite it. Who do not normally volunteer to participate. Cross out the includer and look for shifters. No. X word places. Subject place. Predicate. Ties. Base form. N place, Y. Base form makes Y a verb phrase. Verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Volunteer to participate. Volunteer is the verb. The particle is to. Participate is the object. That's a verb phrase, no time. This is the base form. The complement place is empty. Since this is an adjectival included sentence, we still need to find the trace. So let's go back to our original noun phrase, students who do not normally volunteer. So in our adjectival included sentence, where does the head students fit? Exactly. Students do not normally volunteer. So our trace is in the subject place, and that means the includer is obligatory. We need this includer. We can't take it out. And I believe we're done with that sentence. Please, let's go on to our last sentence. Oh, we have two more, I'm sorry. The last time I taught this class, every student in attendance contributed to the analysis of the sentences used as class examples. Please analyze that sentence, come back, and we'll take a look at it together. The last time I taught this class is a shifter. Let's see, every student in attendance contributed to the analysis. Did every student in attendance? Every student in attendance did not contribute, and every student in attendance is the subject. Everything left is the predicate. Now let's look for, let me show the M place first, and I'll put the Y in too. And contributed ties with the past. Contributed is the past form. Y is a verb phrase with time. Let's rewrite the Y. Contributed to the analysis sentences used as class examples. That's all one phrase. So maybe we don't have to write it because it'll all fall into the same place. And contributed is the verb. There's no particle. And there's no object. What we have is the complement to the analysis of the sentences used as class examples. That's our complement. And that is a prepositional phrase. Let's rewrite our prepositional phrase. Whoops. Okay. To the analysis of the sentences used as class examples. To is the preposition. The object of the preposition is the analysis of the sentences used as class examples. And this object of the preposition is a noun phrase. The analysis of the sentences used as class examples. Analysis is the head. The is a determiner. And of the sentences used as class examples is a modifier. It's a prepositional phrase. Another prepositional phrase. Let's rewrite it. Of the sentences used as class examples. Preposition. Object of the preposition is a noun phrase. Okay, and now we have to rewrite that noun phrase again. The sentences used as class examples. Whoops, getting a little crooked here. Okay. Okay, and now let's go continue here. The sentences used as class examples. Sentences is the noun phrase head. The is a determiner. And used as class examples is a modifier. Verb phrase, no time. We'll rewrite our verb phrase. Used as class examples. Used is the verb. The particle place is empty. The object place is empty. As class examples is the complement. And this is an adverb phrase because it's headed by the adverb as. So let's rewrite it as class examples. And we'll treat this adverb phrase the same way we treated the prepositional phrases. Let's label this as the adverb. We'll label class examples as the object of the adverb. And the object of the adverb is a noun phrase. We'll rewrite that, class examples. Examples is the noun phrase head. And class is a modifier, also a noun phrase. Now I think we need to do, we have a few more phrases to analyze still. So maybe let's work our way towards the front of the sentence, and let's do the subject next. Every student in attendance. Every student in attendance. And every student is a noun phrase. Student is the head. Every is actually let's call it a determiner. In attendance is a prepositional phrase. We'll rewrite it. In attendance. The preposition is in. The object of the preposition is attendance, and that's a noun phrase. It's already just one word, so we won't have to go any further with that one. And let's do the shifter last. The last time I taught this class, and we'll take a different color. Time is the head. The is a determiner. Last is like an ordinal number, adjective phrase. Time is the noun phrase head. And I taught this class is an adjectival included sentence. Now let's rewrite it. I taught this class, and there's no includer, so there's no shifters. Did I teach? I did not teach. The M place is empty. The Y is taught this class. Taught ties with the past. It's the past form. Y is a verb phrase with time. Rewrite the Y. Taught this class. And taught is the verb, particle, object, and complement. The object is a noun phrase. So let's check that one. This class. The head is class, noun phrase. The determiner, this. Okay, so that's our adjectival included sentence. We just need to do two more things. So the last time I taught this class, where does the head in this last time fit into this adjectival included sentence? I taught this class last time. Oh, actually, the trace is in the shifter place. The last time I taught this class. And that means that the includer is optional, and that's exactly why we don't even have an includer here. It's optional. Okay, let's continue, and I think there's just one sentence left. Analyzing these sentences shows us that language is an extremely complicated system of communication. So please stop the video, check this last sentence, analyze it down to the individual words, and when you're done, come back and we'll look at it together. Analyzing these sentences shows us that language is an extremely complicated system of communication. No shifters. Does analyzing these sentences show us? Analyzing these sentences does not show us. So analyzing these sentences is the subject and shows us everything left is the predicate. Let's show the M place while we still have room, the Y, and the ties. S form. So Y is a verb phrase with time. Rewrite the Y. Shows us that language is an extremely complicated system of communication. The verb place shows there's no particle. Us is an object. It's a noun phrase. And that language is an extremely complicated system of communication is a second object. But this time it's a nominal included sentence. And the complement place is empty. Let's take our object, the nominal included sentence. That language is an extremely complicated system of communication. That's all one phrase. I don't really need to rewrite that. And let's take a look. That is the includer. Now that we've crossed off the includer, we can begin to take a look at this nominal sentence, the nominal included sentence. And is the X word. There were no shifters here. Language is the subject. And is an extremely complicated system of communication is the predicate, the N place, and Y. Now, is ties with the subject, is ties with the present. Y, an extremely complicated system, is a noun phrase. Let's rewrite the Y. An extremely complicated system of communication, and the verb place is empty, the particle place is empty, the object place is empty. An extremely complicated system of communication is the complement. It's a noun phrase. Let's take the noun phrase and we'll rewrite it. Okay. Over here. And extremely complicated system of communication. Okay, I kind of ran out of room over there. And let's see what kind of a analysis we'll come up with here. system is the head. It's the noun phrase. And is a modifier, a determiner, and extremely complicated works together as one modifier. That's an adjective phrase. And of communication is a prepositional phrase. Let's take a look at the adjective phrase first. Extremely complicated. Complicated will be the adjective phrase head, and extremely will be the adverb phrase modifier. Let's bring down our prepositional phrase of communication, and of is the preposition. Communication is the object of the preposition. That's a noun phrase. It's one word, so we don't need to go any further. And I thought we still have one more phrase. We need to take a look at the subject still. Analyzing these sentences. Okay, now you've already analyzed this sentence, so you probably have the answer. But what kind of phrase is this? It's a verb phrase with no time. That means let's look for the verb, the particle, the object, in the complement. Now the object is a noun phrase, and that means that we should rewrite it, these sentences. Find the head, noun phrase, and any modifiers, in this case a determiner. And now we've analyzed every word in this sentence. That's the end of Classwork 14. We have just one more lesson left, and that lesson is very good because it really does show us how we put things together, phrases in places. So stop the video, and I'll see you with lesson 15.